Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much for joining. Sorry for delay of 10 minutes. Let's get started with Mangalacharan prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye. Nashtiprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatadine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Guruve Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Padale Krishna Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Mukam karoti vācālam pangam langāyate girim yatkripātam vande Shri Guru Dīnataram Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishram. I humble obeisances to each and every one of you. Vancha kalpataribhascha kripāsindhu vacha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you once again for your association. I'll share my screen. So we are in the 4th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, the 2nd canto. And in this 4th chapter, so in the last chapter, we saw that how the Sutta, all the sages of Naimisharanya, they approached to Sutta Goswami and they said, please continue Krishna Katha. We want to hear. And then they described that how they basically criticized all the limbs of all the senses, all the limbs, if they are not used in Krishna service. Like they said that if ears are not used in hearing Krishna's glorification, then they are like the snake's holes. And if the eyes are not used, then they are like plumes of peacock. And if the head is not used to go down to Krishna, then it is just like a heavy burden on the body. The heart is steel framed if it is not transformed after hearing Krishna Katha. So this way, they criticized limb by limb and described that if it is not used in Krishna service, then it is just like a limb of an animal. After describing this all such, then Sutta Goswami describes, because the sages of Naimisharanya were very eager to hear Krishna Katha. So Sutta Goswami then started speaking that when Parikshit Maharaj was satisfied with all the answers that Sukadeva Goswami gave, even Parikshit Maharaj said that I have given up everything. I have become totally detached. I have renounced everything. But I want to hear more Krishna Katha. And just like you all, even Parikshit Maharaj expressed this, his desire, that he wants to know more and more about Krishna Katha. And he asked few questions. But before asking few questions, he glorified Sukadeva Goswami that You are the knower of everything, and you are uh, you are the devotee of the Lord. You are Anagha, and you have already dispelled my ignorance. So therefore, I request you to please tell me more about Lord Shri Krishna and his pastimes. So there are few questions that he asked. That first he asked that how the Lord create this entire universe through his energies, how the Lord maintains and destroy the universe, how the Lord enact the primary creation, and how does he carry out the secondary creation with the help of Prajapatis and the demigods. So he asked what all questions? First he asked about the creation, that how does the Lord create this entire universe with his energies, with the help of his energies. Second, he asked that how does the Lord enact the primary creation through his Maya Shakti? How does he maintain? He creates, how he maintains and destroys also. And how does he carry out the secondary creations with the help of Prajapatis and other demigods? Then Parikshit Maharaj said something very important. In the 8th verse, he said, Nunam Bhagavato Brahman Hare Adbhuta Karmana Durvibhayam Eva Bhati Kavibhis Chapi Chestitam. That about describing about the Supreme Lord's activities, which are Adbhuta Karmana, which are very, very glorious. And Durvibhayam, which is like very, very inconceivable. Nobody can understand about how he creates, how he maintains, how he destroys, how he carries out the secondary creation. It's so inconceivable to understand. But and even, by whom? Kavibhis chapi chesitam. Even the learned person, they are insufficient to understand the activities of the Lord. So Parikshit Maharaj said this. And in the 9th verse, he said that the Supreme Lord is one, whether he alone acts with the modes of material nature or simultaneously expands in many forms or expands consecutively to direct the modes of nature. So he is one. So this way, when Parikshit Maharaj asked all these questions, the natural doubt that Sukadev Goswami had was that, oh Parikshit, just now you said that the activities of the Supreme Lord are very difficult to understand even by the Kavidis, by the learned people, by the wise people. And you said that his activities are so inconceivable. So if it is very difficult for the wise men to understand, then why are you asking me all these questions? You already said that it is so difficult, they are inconceivable, but still you are asking me what is the reason. And then Parikshit Maharaj, actually Sukhdev Goswami, it's not mentioned here that he asked, but the natural doubt that arises, the link between 9th and 10th verse is actually when Sukhdev Goswami was thinking like this, that just now you said that the activities of the Lord are inconceivable, why you are asking me? So Parikshit Maharaj said this very beautiful verse. Vichikishitam itanme bhavitu bhagavan yatha shabde brahmani nishnata parasmam jabhavam khalu. Vichikshitam means that please clear my doubts. I have these doubts. So bhavitu, you please clear it for me. All my doubts should be vanquished by your mercy. So you are the one who please clear all my doubts. Bhagavan Yatha. So now he is calling Sukhdev Goswami as Bhagavan. Why he is calling as Bhagavan? Because he is saying that you are as powerful as the Lord. How can a devotee be powerful to the Lord? Because he said that you are a pure devotee of the Lord, so you are one with the Lord. Now here oneness doesn't mean the oneness of impersonalism. Here it means that you are one with the Lord, means you understand the mood of the Lord. Shabde Brahmani, Nishnataha. Nishnataha means, Nishnata means you have realized. You have realized this about the Supreme Lord. And why? Because you are very learned in the Vedic literature. Are you able to see my screen? Somehow I am not able to see.
We are able to see, Mataji.
Perfect. Yeah, somehow something happened to my laptop. Okay. Thank you for confirming, Mataji. Yeah. So he says, Bravitu Bhagavan Yatha Shabde Brahmani Nishnata, that you have fully realized the Vedic literature. Therefore, you can explain me. So two things he mentioned. First is that, O Sukadeva Goswami, you have realized that Vedic literature. See, one thing is knowing about somebody or knowing or getting some information. Another thing is you have that information and then you imbibe those information or instructions or whatever. And the third level is that you have imbibed and you have realized, means you have completely digested it. Okay, like normally we give the example of pack of cigarette. Cigarette smoking is injurious to health. This is mere an information. If somebody has imbibed that instruction, will stop smoking. Then it will said that, okay, you have imbibed those instructions. Now those instructions are no more just an information. Third thing is that for a prolonged period, now the person have really stopped cigarette because he has realized the after effects of smoking. So that is the digested information, that you have completely digested it and realized it. That is the third level of understanding. So here Parikshit Maharaj is saying that you have realized or digested those Vedic injunctions, the teachings of the Vedas, the Vedic literatures. So because of that, you know in and out. That's why I'm asking you about the Supreme Lord. And the next reason is that you are Bhagavan Yatha, that you are the devotee of the Supreme Lord. And the Lord himself proclaims that to my devotee, I reveal everything. So because of these two reasons, I am asking you, O Cha Bhavan Khalu, O your good self, please explain me about these questions. Yes, somebody can read the translation.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Kindly clear up all these doubtful inquiries, because you are not only vastly learned in Vedic literatures and self-realized in transcendence, but are also great devotee of the Lord and are therefore as good as the personality of the Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So even in Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says to Arjuna, Bhaktosmi Sakha Chayati, that you are because you are my great devotee, I'm revealing this transcendental knowledge to you. So Krishna himself reveals all these knowledge about himself, which are inconceivable for a common man to understand. But such knowledge is revealed in the heart of the pure devotees. So, because Sukadeva Goswami, you are such a pure devotee, you are Bhagavan Yatha, you are as good as the Supreme Lord, you are representative of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, you know everything about the Supreme Lord, because the Supreme Lord has revealed everything to you. And it is that reason that I'm asking you these questions. So Prabhupada writes, The Brahma Samhita, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that the Supreme Absolute Truth, Govinda, the personality of Godhead, although he is one without a second, there is no one equal, is infallibly expanded by innumerable forms, non-different from one another, like different expansions of the Supreme Lord. And although he is the original person, he is still ever young and youthful, permanent youthful energy. And it is very difficult to know simply by learning the transcendental science of the Vedas. But he is easily realized by his pure devotees. It is very difficult. It is achintya to know about the Supreme Lord. But for devotees, he is very easily realized. And what are the different forms? Krishna Prabhupada explains about Baladev to Sankarshan, then the four Chaturyugas, that is Mula Sankarshan, Mula Vasudev, Mula Anirudh, Mula Pradyumna. And then from Mula Sankarshan comes Narayan, and from Narayan comes the second Chaturyuga, that is Maha Vasudev, Maha Anirudh, Maha Sankarshan, and Maha Pradyumna. And then from Maha Sankarshan comes the Purusha Avataras. So this way, there are uncountable waves of a river. Just like how the waves cannot be counted, similarly, the different incarnations of the Supreme Lord cannot be counted. And they all are one and the same, just like the lamps. This is again from Brahma Samhita. How the lamp, from one lamp you can lit up another lamps, but that original lamp will be the original lamp. Though after being lit up, all the lamps look the same. So they are all equal in their power and they kindle from one lamp to another. But still, Ete Chamsa Kalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. That original lamp is Lord Sri Krishna, from whom all different lamps have been lit up. It is easily understandable for a pure devotee because the Lord declares in Bhagavad Gita that after surpassing the state of knowledge, when one is able to engage in devotional service of the Lord, then only one can know the true nature of the Lord. It is very easy to understand for someone who is a pure devotee of the Lord. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kankshati samasarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim parabhate. Those who are the devotees of the Lord, those who are engaged in devotional service to the Lord explains, Lord reveals them to himself. The Lord is, here Prabhupada also says, the Lord is Purna. This is the transcendental potency of the Lord. The Veda says that he is complete, and even though the whole complete identity emanates from him, the different incarnations, they come from Krishna, but still he remains the same complete. Again, this is from Isha Upanishad, Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Eva Vashishyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. That he will be complete, no matter so many incarnations can come out from him, but still he will be Purnam, he will be complete. But one can know the Supreme Lord by the strength of devotional service. Maharaj Parikshit admitted in the previous verse that the Lord is inconceivable even for the greatest learned scholars. Then why should he again request Sutta Goswami to clear his insufficient knowledge about the Lord? The reason is clear. Not only was Sukadeva Goswami very learned in the Vedic scriptures, he had digested, realized it, but he was also great self-realized soul and a powerful devotee of the Lord. A powerful devotee of the Lord is by the grace of the Lord more than the Lord himself. See, Prabhupada is giving the example that how Lord Ramachandra, he attempted to bridge the Indian Ocean to reach the island of Lanka. But his devotee Sri Hanumanji, by the power of Sri Ramachandra, he could cross the ocean simply by jumping over it. From there, where this power is coming, this power is being bestowed by the Lord Ramachandra himself to his devotee. Lord is so merciful upon his devotees that he presents his beloved devotee as more powerful than himself. The Lord expressed himself to be unable to save Durvasa Muni. Although the Muni was so powerful that he could reach the Lord directly under these material conditions. But Durvasa Muni was ultimately saved by Ambarish Maharaj, a devotee of the Lord. Because the Lord said, Aham Bhakta Paradhina, that I am dependent on my devotee. So, Durvasa Muni, if you want forgiveness, if you want to spare your life, you have to go back to Ambarish Maharaj and ask forgiveness from him. Therefore, it not only the devotee of the Lord, powerful than the Lord, but also worship of that devotee is considered more effective than direct worship of the Lord. Mad Bhaktya Puja Vadika. This is from 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So how important it is, not only is a devotee of the Lord more powerful, but also the worship of the devotee of the Lord is considered more effective than the direct worship of the Lord. So we also don't worship the Lord directly. We don't approach the Lord directly. Whenever we offer any article or any item to the Supreme Lord, we do it through the medium of Shri Guru. First, we worship Shri Guru and we request Shri Guru that on your behalf, I am offering this seva. That should be the mood of a devotee when the devotee offers any seva. Because the devotee is considered more effective. The worship of the devotee is considered more effective than the direct worship of the Lord. And even the Lord acknowledges when someone is servant of the servant of the servant of his devotee. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says this, Gopi Bhartur Padkamalayor Dasa Dasa Anidas. Not directly the Das of Gopi Bhartur, master of the gopis, but Dasa 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 Anidas. The conclusion is therefore that a serious devotee must first approach the spiritual master. Here the role of the spiritual master comes in. Because without approaching a spiritual master, directly to approach Krishna is not possible. Because the spiritual master is not only well-versed in Vedic literature, but also a great devotee with factual realization of the Lord and his different energies. And with the help of such a devotee spiritual master, one can progress in the transcendental science. And a bona fide spiritual master like Sukadeva Goswami does not speak about the Lord only in the matter of his internal potencies, but also explains how he associates with his external potencies. Because everything in and out is revealed to a pure devotee. And then he explains, Prabhupada says that the Lord pastimes and the internal potency are displayed in his activities in Vrindavan. These are his internal potency activities. But with his external potencies, he also carry out many things, many process of creation, like being many Purusha avatars, Karnodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Shirodakshaya Vishnu. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur offers his good counsel to the interested Vaishnavas when he says that they should not be interested just hearing about Krishna's Rasalila pastimes, but they should also be interested about knowing Shishti Tattva, how the Supreme Lord creates this entire creation, pastimes and features of his different Purusha avatars. So one should understand this. Siddhanta chitta baliye na kar alas. Ya haite Krishna lage sudrad manas. When it comes to Siddhanta, one should not show any alas. One should not be lazy. One should not say, well, this is so boring. I just want to jump on to the 10th canto. I just want to hear just the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. What all activities he did or his devotees did. Yes, that is very pleasing. But Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur himself is saying that all those interested Vaishnavas, those who are only interested in hearing the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, please be alert. Why? Because knowing about the creation process how the Lord created this entire world, what are the features of this entire world, then only you will come to know that how can you get out of this world. So it is very important to know about the Srishti Tattva, creational functions that the Supreme Lord carries out by taking different incarnations as Purusha avatars. And that's the same reason why Parikshit Maharaj also asked these questions. What he asked about the creation, how the Lord created everything, this entire universe with his different energies, how the Lord maintains and destroys with the help of his energy, and how the Lord carries out the secondary process with the help of different demigods and prajapatis. So this way, when Parikshit Maharaj had these questions and he is asking, and with the help of the dialogue that happened between Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadev Goswami, which was reiterated by Suta Goswami in the sages of Naimisharanya, and we are getting this opportunity to know these answers. So Suta Goswami says, Iti upamandrito rajan guna kathane hari rishikesham anusmritya prativaktum prachakrame. So he's saying, Iti upamantrito. This how Prabhupada is writing. Upamantrita means being requested. Thus, Sukadev Goswami was being requested by the Raja, by King Parikshit Maharaj. What was he requested? Gura Anukathane, that please describe the transcendental attributes of the Lord, the qualities. Guna refers to the qualities or the attributes. So he's requesting that you please now further tell me about the different qualities. See, the basic question that Parikshit Maharaj had, that what was the duty of a dying man or a person in general, what is the duty? Sukadev Goswami has already explained all that. He explained Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, direct method, indirect method, and finally he also established about Bhakti Yoga. But that didn't stop the discussion. This is the inquisitiveness the devotee had. The devotee knows, Parikshit Maharaj knows that now he has only 7 days left. And how he is getting the association of Sukadev Goswami. So he doesn't want to let that association go in vain. So therefore he said that now I want to hear further about Krishna Katha. But before jumping onto the Leela of Krishna, he himself is saying that first I want to know about his transcendental qualities and attributes. So you please tell me. And after being questioned like this by Parikshit Maharaj, Sukadev Goswami also didn't start immediately. What he did, Rishikesham Anusmritya. He remembered the Lord of the senses. Lord of senses is known as Rishikesha. He remembered, Sukadev Goswami, he remembered Anusmritya. He remembered the Lord of all the senses, that is Rishikesha, Prativaktum Prachakrame, before he could reply to Parikshit Maharaj. Means what he did, he offered the Mangalacharan, which is very, very important. When we also study Srimad Bhagavatam, even in these classes or on our own also, when we open Srimad Bhagavatam, this is a book Bhagavatam. This is non-different from Lord Shri Krishna. So when we approach Bhagavatam, when we study Bhagavatam, we should offer Mangalacharan prayers because we pray for all auspiciousness. Mangalacharan, Mangala means to pray for the auspiciousness to the auspicious Lord. To auspicious Lord, we are praying that you please bestow this auspiciousness because here I'm coming in touch with you. Not only this, studying Srimad Bhagavatam, But also when we chant our rounds, we still offer Mangalacharan. We offer prayers to Shri Guru, we offer prayers to Panchatattva, and then we chant Krishna's holy name. So similarly, our Sukadev Goswami, Sutta Goswami is saying that Sukadev Goswami, after hearing all these questions from Parikshit Maharaj, he didn't start immediately, but he offers his Mangalacharan verses. And what are those verses? That will be explained in the future verses. Because he is praying, Sukadev Goswami is praying that, oh Lord, you are Rishikesha, you are master of all the senses. So I pray that you become situated in my words so that I can give the apt answer to Parikshit Maharaj. So while offering respects to the Lord and Guru, then Sukadev Goswami will start answering the questions to Parikshit Maharaj. Somebody will read the translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Sutta Goswami said, when Shukdev Goswami was thus requested by the king to describe the creative energy of the Supreme of the Personality of Godhead, he then systematically remembered the master of the senses, Shri Krishna, and to reply properly, he spoke thus.
Thank you, Sanatana. So then he offered Mangalacharan verses. And Prabhupada is writing that the devotees of the Lord, while delivering speeches and describing the transcendental attributes, do not think that they can do independently. They think that they can speak only what they are induced to speak by the Supreme Lord, who is Rishikesha, and by the power of the spiritual master. The senses of the individual being are not his own. The devotee knows that such senses, they belong to the Supreme Lord and they can be properly used when they're employed in the service of the Lord. The senses are mere the instruments. The elements are the ingredients. Everything is endowed by the Lord. Therefore, whatever an individual can do, speak, see, etc., it is only under the direction of the Lord only. So when we go to the temple and we see the Lord, that power is also coming from the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, it's very difficult to go to the temple and have darshan of the Lord. Taking darshan of the Lord is also because of the mercy of the Lord. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishtam mattasmritir jnanam apohanam cha. It's the Lord who is bestowing this power to remember him. It is the Lord who gives this knowledge, this forgetfulness, so that we can understand him. No one is free to act freely and independently. If we start thinking that I am independent and start acting on my own whims, then it is demoniac. It is a demoniac quality. So one should always seek the permission of the Lord to act or to eat or to speak. So before honoring prasadam also, we offer prasadam prayers. Before speaking, we offer Mangalacharan prayers. Before acting, we pray to the Lord that this is what my things are and please bless me and benedict me. So it is only by the blessing of the Lord that everything is done by the devotee and is beyond the principles of the 4 defects, which typically the conditioned soul has. And what are those 4 defects? Somebody wants to say, what are the 4 defects? What are the 4 defects that the conditioned soul have?
Mistake, illusion, cheating,
imperfect senses.
Imperfect senses, tendency to commit mistake, tendency to cheat, and to be illusioned. These are the 4 defects that a conditioned soul has. But when they start acting, offering everything to Krishna, then they are not under these 4 defects, because then they are empowered by their spiritual master and by Lord Shri Krishna. So from 12th verse onwards till verse 18th or beyond that, Sukadev Goswami will offer his Mangalacharan prayers. So he will glorify the Supreme Lord. Shri Shuka Vacha Nama Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase Sadutbhavasthana Nirodha Leelaya Grihita Shakti Tritayaya Dehina Mantarbhava Anupalaksha Vartmane. So now Sukadev Goswami is praying. He's saying Namha Parasmai Purusha. Parasmai Purusha means that I offer my obeisances to the Supreme. Parasmai means to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is Sat Udbhava. He carry out the work of creation. Sat Udbhava. Not only that, sthana, he maintains. Nirodha, he uproots or he wind up this process of creation. Leelaya, by his different pastimes. So I offer my obeisances, Sukadev Goswami is saying, I'm offering my obeisances to that Supreme Personality of Godhead who carry out this creation process, maintenance process, and uprooting process or winding up the creation by his different pastimes. Grihita Shakti. And how does he does it? By accepting by taking the help of his external energy, Maya Shakti. That Maya Shakti, which is Tritayaya, which is composed of three modes of material nature. Devi Esha Gunamai Mama Maya Durattaya. Right? Krishna says that my Maya is being endowed with these three modes, Gunamai. And what are those three modes? Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva. And Grihita Shakti Tritaya Dehinam Antarbhava, that I am the one who is residing in these dehas of dehis. Those dehi who have accepted this material body, I reside, Antarbhava, I reside in them. Okay, Krishna. So now Sukhdev Goswami is saying that Krishna, you are carrying out the creation process, you are carrying out the maintenance process, you are carrying out the annihilation process with the help of your Maya Shakti. And then you are also saying that you are there in the heart of every living entity also. Well, it is Anupalaksha Vartamane. This is inconceivable. How the Supreme Lord outside carry out all the activities and inside also reside in the heart of all the living entities. Well, it is Anuplaksha Vartamane. It is very, very inconceivable to understand. Somebody can read the translation.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada Ji ki jai. Sukadev Goswami said, "Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who, for the creation of the material world, accepts the three modes of nature. He is the complete whole, residing within the body of everyone, and his ways are inconceivable." Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you, Nisha Mataji. So first of all, Sukadev Goswami, what is he speaking? He's speaking the power of Krishna. That how Krishna, you are unlimited. You have unlimited power, and therefore I respectfully offer my obeisances to you. Then he explains about the pastime of the Supreme Lord, that how taking the help of different Purusha avatars, being Purusha avatars, the power of Purusha avatars, he is carrying out the process of creation, maintenance, and destruction. How Karanadakshay Vishnu, Mahavishnu, he carry out this process of creation, maintenance, and destruction using the three gunas, that is Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. And then finally, he describes the second Purusha avatar, that how, as Garbhodakshay Vishnu, from Karanadakshay Vishnu, he creates the entire universe. But the Garbhodakshay Vishnu, he is the Antaryami, he is the Paramatma of this entire universe. So how he, as the second avatar, Purusha avatar, you maintain this entire universe. So you have created and now you are maintaining. And then how Antarbhavaya, you are also residing in the heart of all the living entities. This is the third Purusha avatars, that is Shirodakshay Vishnu. But he says, Anuplakshna Vartamane. Well, this can only be realized through the process of bhakti. because this is inconceivable. No other path, no other path. Different yogis can follow different paths, but none of those yogis, none of those paths can reveal them this transcendental science of the Supreme Lord. This can only be realized by the process of bhakti. Prabhupada writes, this material world is a manifestation of the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, for creation, maintenance, and destruction. And this accepts the three predominating forms as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankara, Gunavataras. As Vishnu, he enters into every body materially created. As Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, he enters into every universe. And as Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, he enters every body of every living entity. Lord Shri Krishna, being the origin of all the Vishnu Tattvas, is described here as Parhapuma, as Purushottama, as described in the 15th chapter. The Purushavataras are therefore his plenary expansions. They are his amshas, they are his kalas. Bhakti Yoga is the only process by one which can become competent to know him, because the empiric philosophers and the mystic yogis cannot conceive the personality of Godhead. He is called Anuplaksha Vartamane, the Lord of the inconceivable way, which can be only understood through the process of Bhakti Yoga. Now he is continuing. Bhuyo namasad vrijina chitti satam असंभवाखिल सत्वमूर्तये पुंसां पुनः परमहंसाश्रमे व्यवस्थितानामनुमृग्यदाशुसे. So now Sukdev Goswami is continuing his prayers, his Mangalacharan verses, and he is saying, Bhuyo Namaha. Again and again, I am offering my obeisances to you, O Lord. You are Sadvrijna, means you are the one who is destroying the sufferings of his devotees. You are Chid Asatam. Asatam means devotees. Asatam means non-devotees. So yes, you destroy the sufferings of all the devotees of the Lord. You destroy the sufferings of all your devotees, but also you are very, very kind to non-devotees also, because chidde, you liberate them by killing them. You liberate them. Asambhava Akhila Sattva Murte. You are Akhil Sattva Murte. You are Akhil Rasamrita Murte, right? But now he is saying, yes, he is the essence of all the rasas. But he is saying, Akhila Sattva Murte. You are the form of pure Shuddha Sattva, Vishuddha Sattva. Pumsam Punaha. And to the transcendentalist, especially to the Paramhamsas, you are always ready to reveal yourself. And to those Paramhamsas and other transcendentalists also, not only the Paramhamsas, Pumsham Punha Paramhamsa Ashrame, to the transcendentalist and to the Paramhamsas, Ashrame Vyavasthitanam, you are the one who give them their directions and destination. So all the Parampumsas, all the transcendentalists may not be from the path of Bhakti Yoga, maybe from other different yogas, Jnana Yoga or Dhyana Yoga or whatever. You are the one who are giving them their destinations. And to the Paramhamsas also, you are giving their perfect destinations. Definitely the destination of those other transcendentalists and the Paramhamsas will be different. But you are the one who is giving the destination to all of them. Vyavasthitanam, you are situating them in their transcendental destinations. Anumargya dasu say. That means you are delivering them and you are giving them the right destination. Somebody can read the translation.
Hare Krishna. I again offer my respectful obeisances unto the form of complete existence and transcendence, who is the liberator of the pious devotees from all distresses and the destroyer of the further advances in atheistic temperament of the non-devotee demons. For the transcendentalists who are situated in the topmost spiritual perfection, he grants their specific destinations.
Thank you, Sonali. So Prabhupada has really, see the vocabulary that he has used and how he has explained the translation. That you are the liberator of the pious devotees from all distresses and destroys of the further advances in atheistic temperament of the non-devotee demons. So, oh Lord, you take care of both. For devotees, you liberate them from all their distresses. And for those who are non-devotees, to them also you are very merciful because you decrease their further advancement in their atheistic temperament. Means you kill them and you liberate them. You don't let them advance in their atheistic temperament. This is how you show even mercy to non-devotees. And then for the transcendentalists who are situated in the topmost spiritual perfection, you are the one who give them the proper destination. Because those Mishra Bhakti Jnanis, you give them the position of Brahman. And to Paramhamsas, to pure devotees, you give them the destination of praying. Prabhupada writes, Lord Shri Krishna is the complete form of all existence. Akhila means complete and Khila means inferior. So here they are talking about that you are Akhila Sattva Murta. So as stated in Bhagavad Gita, there are two kinds of Prakriti, namely the material nature and the spiritual nature, or the external energy or the internal energy, the Bahiranga Shakti and the Antaranga Shakti. The material nature is known as Aparashakti or the inferior Shakti, but the spiritual nature is called Parashakti or the superior or transcendental Shakti. Therefore, the form of the Lord is not of the inferior material nature. He is complete transcendence. He is Murti. He has a form, a transcendental form. But the less intelligent man, they are unaware of this transcendental form. And therefore, they call Lord as Nirakar, not having any kar, not having any guna, nirguna, nirakar. That actually the Supreme Lord has guna, has akar also, but this is not pertaining to the material akar or the material gunas. It is transcendental. So those who are unaware, they describe him as impersonal Brahman. But Brahman is simply the rays of his transcendental body. Brahmano hi pratishtha aham. The devotees who are aware of his transcendental form, they render service unto him and then the Lord reciprocate with them. Ye yatha mam prapadyante. The impious and non-devotees are against the principles of Vedas. Like we see how Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa, these demons were simply killed by the Supreme Lord and they got salvation. Just like a kind father, either he is in his favor upon the devotees or his punishment to the devotees. Both are actually for the benefit of the living entity. He is ever kind to everyone, Sudrit Sarvabhutanam, because he is the complete existence of all individual existence. So this is how he gives the destination to Pumsam Punaha. But to Paramhamsa, this is the stage of the highest perfectional stage of spiritual values. Srimati Kunti Devi says the Lord is factually understood by the Paramhamsas only. And then this is actually one of the sannyas order. Prabhupada writes, Skutichak Bahudak Parivajakacharan Paramhamsa. So what is this Kutichak? We have already discussed all this 4 stages when Kunti Maharani prays. So in the first canto of the 8th chapter, we have discussed. Kutichak is taking sannyas when the sannyasi, he take this renounce order of life, accepts sannyas, but he is just outside his village. So for his livelihood, he's still dependent on the villagers. The villagers come and give him some prasadam, or if he has some problems, they approach him, but he is renounced. He lives outside of the village, on the outskirts only. So that is a kuti chak sannyas. Then comes Bahudak. Bahudak is that, yes, now the sannyasi is not limited just to the outskirt of the village, and he is no more dependent on that village, but he roams around into different villages and begs for his livelihood, means he does madhukari. So that is a Bahudak. Parivajakacharya is when they cross all they cross the villages, rivers, the cities, the towns, and they approach, and they do it for what? Why they are roaming? Not just to do madhukari, but to preach this transcendental science. That is God consciousness or Krishna consciousness. Like our Srila Prabhupada, he was Parivajakacharya because he was roaming from one country to another, but to preach, not just to doing his madhukari, but to preach the science, the transcendental science of God consciousness or Krishna consciousness. And the last stage is Paramhamsa, where the sannyasi, he stops preaching also. And he just stays at one place. And then he gets this Ajgar Vritti. Ajgar Vritti is the Python mentality, where whatever comes he accepts, otherwise he is in his own Nirjan Bhajan. And that was the stage which was exhibited by Sripad Madhavendra Puri in his last stage of life. Now, can we say that Srila Prabhupada was not a Paramhamsa? No, Prabhupada was a Paramhamsa. But for the preaching purpose, he came down from that Paramhamsa level to Parivajakacharya level. Sometimes the sannyasi comes down from one level to another for some higher cause. Okay? So these Paramhamsas can be found both the impersonalist and the devotees. But according to Srimad Bhagavatam, pure Bhakti Yoga is understood only by the Paramhamsas who are the devotee category. So ultimately, the Paramhamsa, in the true sense of the term, are unalloyed devotees of the Lord. And Srila Jiva Goswami has directly accepted that the highest destination of Bhakti Yoga, by which one accepts the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Those who accept the path of Bhakti Yoga, they are actually factual Paramhamsas. Now, since the Lord is very kind, so impersonalists who accept Bhakti as the means of merging the existence of the Lord in his impersonal Brahma Jyoti are also awarded the desired destination. Ye yatha mam prapadyante. So even the impersonalist will get the destination, but only when they have Bhakti. To come to the level of Brahman also you require Bhakti. It has to be Bhakti Mishrit Jnana. If it is not added with Bhakti, then one cannot achieve any destination. Then they are known as simply Jivan Muktas, where they think themselves to be liberated, but actually they are not liberated. And that's why, because they do not have any attachment to the lotus feet of the Lord, Param Padam, even though they have achieved that Param Padam of Jivan Mukta, they fall, Patanti Adho, they fall down from that position. Why? Because they have disrespected the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So to reach to the level of Brahman also, you need Bhakti. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti said that there are two classes of Paramhamsas, the Brahmanandis and the Premanandis. But both are awarded their direct desired destination. Although the Premanandis are more fortunate than the Brahmanandis, but both the Brahmanandis and the Premanandis are transcendentalists, and they have nothing to do with the inferior material nature of the existence, miseries of life. So yes, even they are liberated. Brahmanandis are also liberated, and Paramanandis definitely will get the higher destination. We have discussed this so many times. Let's continue. So now in the 14th verse, Sukadeva Goswami is continuing. Namo namaste stu vrishabhaya sattvatam vidura kashtaya muhopi yoginam nirasta samsha tishena radhasa swadhamani brahmani ramyase namaha ramshayate namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances, namaha, unto who Swadhamni Brahmani Ramyasate, who enjoy is his transcendental abode. So that Lord who has his own abode, Swadhamani, he has his own abode in where Brahmani, in the spiritual sky, where he is enjoying. But Nirasta Samshita Shena Radhasa, he is also enjoying the opulence or the greatness in this world. So means the Supreme Lord, I bow down to that Supreme Lord who is enjoying his pastimes in this material world also, but he has his own spiritual world in the spiritual sky. He has his own abode where he enjoys his pastimes with his eternal devotees. Naman Namaste. I bow down to that Supreme Lord. Rishabhaya Satvatam. Satvatam means the Kula, the dynasty, the Vasudev dynasty. Satvatam Kule. So he's saying that and you are the best. Satvatam, the best of the Satvatams. So I bow down to that Lord Shri Krishna, the son of Vasudev, right? One who is Vidura Kashtaya, one who is far away from all the mundane people. Vidura means he is very, very far. He cannot be approached by the mundane people. Always, Muhu, Kuyoginam. Kuyoginam means that Prabhupada writes, Vidura Kashtaya, one who is far away from mundane wranglers. Kuyogina means of the non-devotees. So he is the one, Prabhupada is writing, that, O Lord, Sukadeva Goswami is praying that, O Lord, you are filled with both power and sweetness. So I continually offer my obeisances to you. So he is calling the Lord as Rishabhaya Satvatam, that you are the son of Vasudev and you belong to that Yadu dynasty, that Satvatam dynasty, but you are the best of those Satvatam. This is one meaning. Another meaning of Rishabhaya Satvatam means Satvatam can also refer to devotees. And Rishabhaya means that you are the protector of the devotees. So two meanings comes out. One is that you are the best of the Satvatam, because here Satvatam can refer to the Satvatam dynasty in which Krishna appeared. And also Satvatam can mean the devotees. So you are the best of the Satvatam, or you are the protector of the devotees. And you are distant, you Vidura Kashtaya, you keep distance from those who are not in this process of Bhakti Yoga. Without Bhakti, those who are non-devotees, those who are Kuyogina, well, you keep distance from them. You don't approach them, you don't reveal them to you. You don't reveal yourself to them. And there is no one who is equal or greater to you. Why? Because even though you have in this Bhuloka, you have Mathura Mandal, Dwarka, Vrindavan, where you enjoy your pastime, but still you have your own dham in that spiritual sky, where you are always in the center of everything, and there also you enjoy your power and your opulence. So this way, he is saying, I bow down to you respectfully again and again. Somebody can read the translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him, who is the associate of the member of the Yadu dynasty, and who is always a problem for the non-devotees. He is the supreme enjoyer of the both the material and the spiritual world. Yet he enjoys his own abode in the spiritual sky. There is no one equal to him because his transcendental opulence is immeasurable.
Thank you, Sanitri. So he is always a problem for the non-devotees. Why? Because he always keeps distance from the non-devotees. Vidura kashtaya muhu, always kuyoginam, to non-devotees. Prabhupada writes, there are two sides of transcendental manifestations. For the pure devotees, he is always a constant companion, like his friend Arjun, like the inhabitants of Vrindavan, son of Nanda Maharaj, his friend Sudama, Sridham, Madhumangal, or the damsels of Rajbhumi. This is part of his personal feature. But by his impersonal feature, he is expanding as the rays of Brahma Jyoti, the Brahma Tattva or the Brahman. But the mundaners who are they are less captivated by the unlimited expansions of the rays of the Lord, but the devotees are concerned only with the personal form. So those who are non-devotees, they are attracted to that impersonal feature. But those who are devotees, well, they are only attracted with the personal form of the Lord. Therefore, the mundaners are always far, far away from him. Even in the future, if they are able to manufacture some machine whose speed may be accelerated to the velocity of the wind or mind, the mundaners will still be unable to imagine reaching the planets of the spiritual sky. Why? Because they are far, far away from this understanding. They don't consider the Supreme Lord to be a person. But for the devotees, the Lord is always available as an associate. In Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says that I have my own dham. Yes, I'm enjoying this Bhauma Vrindavan. I'm enjoying some places in Bhuloka, but still I have my own dham where I reside eternally. And that dham, Madham, Swadham is na tadbhasataya suryo na shashanko na bhavakal yad gatva na nivartante tad dham na paramandam. Is glorifying that Lord, that dham does not require any sunlight, moonlight, and whosoever goes to that dham never comes back. This is reiterated in Shvetashvana Upanishad also. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam. There is no need of sun, moon, or stars. Neyam vidyato bhanti kutoyam agni. There is no need of any electricity or any kind of fire to ignite some lamps. Tam eva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvam idam vibhati. On the other hand, if all those planets are self-illuminating, they're all effulgence of the Supreme Lord because of which it is possible. And whatever there is dazzling is due to the reflections of that Swadha. Prabhupada again quotes from Ishopanishad also, Hiranyamaya Patreni, that, oh Lord, you are the maintainer of everything. And through the process of devotional service, only one can understand you, which is the actual principle of religion. And I am engaged in the service of you. So the devotees, what they pray, that please remove this veil of Brahma Jyoti rays so that I can see your eternal form, eternal bliss and knowledge. Text 15. Yat kirtanam, yat smaranam, yadikshanam, yat vandanam, yat shravanam, yadarhanam, lokasya sadyo vidinoti kalmasham, tasmai subhadra shravase namo namah. So next three verses are very sweet, because now Sukadeva Goswami will be describing the sweetness of the Lord. So this last line will be repeated in the next three verses. Tasmai subhadra shravase namo namaha. That, oh Lord, I bow down to you. Therefore, tasmai, therefore I bow down unto the Supreme Lord, unto that Supreme Lord, Subhadra, who is all auspicious. Bhadra means auspicious. Subhadra means all auspicious. You're all auspicious, Shravase, and your auspiciousness should be heard by everybody. So, what he's praying? Yat Kirtinan. Sukadeva Goswami says, Kirtana means your glorification. Whose glorification? Yat Smaranam, who is supposed to be remembered. Yadikshanam, whose audience means to see the form of the Supreme Lord. Yad Vandanam, one who offered prayers to the Supreme Lord. Yad Shravanam, who is worthy of hearing his pastimes. Yad Arhanam, worshipping the Supreme Lord. Lokasya means by the people, simple people, when the general people, when they glorify you, when they remember you, when they see the form of you, when they offer prayers to you, when they hear about you, when they worship you, sadhyo vidhnoti kalmasham lokasya, means you immediately at once cleanses the impurities with noti kalmasham, all the impurities that they carry in their heart. Vidanoti, you clean them personally. You clean them personally. But to which devotees? Those who glorify you, those who remember you, those who see your form, have your audience, those who offer prayers to you, those who hear about you, those who worship you, those who are engaged in this direct devotional service, and you sadhyo vidnoti kalmasham, you immediately clear off all the impurities in their heart. Tasmai, therefore, unto you, O all auspicious Lord, who is carrying all auspicious activities, qualities, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. So yes, Krishna, he clears off. Pravishta karna randrena Swanam bhava saroruham dhunoti shamalam Krishna. Krishna is washing all the mala, all the contamination that is there in the heart. When he enters, pravishta karnarandrena, when he enters through those ear holes, Krishna, when we hear about him, so when we hear about Krishna, because Krishna is non-different from his name, when we hear about him, Krishna enters into that ear holes. Pravishta karnarandrena, swanam bhava saroruham, and he sits on the lotus of the heart of that devotee. And does he just sit idle? No. Dhunoti shalanam Krishna. Oh Krishna, you yourself washes away all the sins, all the contamination, all the impurities that the devotee is carrying in the heart. Shailisya yatha sharat. Just like the autumn rain washes away all the muddy water that is there in the 4 months of the rainy season. So during the rainy season, the Ganga or the rivers or everything actually, it becomes so dirty because of the mud. But as soon as the autumn season comes and one rain comes, with one rainfall, everything gets cleared off. The plants look more green and their luster comes back. The rivers gets all purified. All the mala is gone, all the impurity is gone, all the muddy water is gone. So similarly, when you enter through the karna hole, through the ear holes, then you also dhunoti shalanam, you wash away all the sins. And there is also the Mangalacharan that we sing for before Srimad Bhagavatam. Shunvatam swakatha Krishnam punya shravana kirtanam hridayanta so bhadrani vidnoti suratsata. That you washes away all the sins, all the contamination. So therefore here also is saying lokasya sadaro vidnoti kalmasham. All the kalmasham, all the impurities get cleared off. Therefore tasmai subhadra shravase namo namaha. Oh, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Somebody can read the translation.
Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the all-auspicious Lord Sri Krishna, about whom glorification, remembrances, audience, prayers, hearing and worship can at once cleanse the effects of all sins of the performer. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Such a beautiful verse, right? Such an ensuring verse, such a it gives so much of faith, so much of conviction that the Supreme Lord, first of all, he hears us. He's there in the personal form to accept our services. And then he cleanses off the effects of all the sins. Lokasya. Lokasya sadhyo. Sadhyo means immediately, without no time, with no time. Taking no time, immediately. Vidnoti kalmashan. He cleanses off. Prabhupada writes, the sublime form of religious performances is to free from the reactions of sins. And Sukadev Goswami says that by these processes of kirtan, remembering, going to the temple, offering prayers, vandanam, archanam, all these processes, one can immediately cleanse of all the reactions. The devotees need not be disappointed in the physical absence of the Lord, because through this process of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, we can achieve the direct result by associating the Lord. Because Abhinnatvam Nam Namino, there is no difference between Krishna and his holy name. We must know definitely that the Lord is present everywhere. Thus, the performance of a fenceless kirtan has positive association with the Lord. Simply remembrance and prayers can give us the desired result if they are properly done under the proper guidance. But if we take such prayers or such activities to be that, okay, if I do all this, I'll be relieved of all the sins. So let me commit more and more sins, and then I will chant and I will glorify the Lord. I'll remember the Lord, and again I'll be cleared of all the sins. And then again I start committing the sins. Then Prabhupada says it is namno baladhyasya papa buddhi, means it is the seventh offense, which is to commit sinful activities on the strength of chanting the holy name. That holy name will protect me, so let me keep on committing so many offenses or so many sinful activities. Anyways, I'll chant and I'll be cleared off. If somebody takes undue advantage of this holy name, then it becomes a namaprad, and then there is no way that we can come out of it. Okay? So we have to be very, very careful. Text 16. Vichakshanaya चरणोपसादनात् संगम विदुषा भयतोन्तरात्मना विन्दन्ति हि ब्रह्म गतिं गताक्लमस् तस्मै सुभद्राश्रवसे नमो नमः. Again, this line as it is repeated. Vichakshana yad charanopasadanat means those vichakshanas, those intellectual, those jnanis, when they approach to you, charana upasadanat means when they dedicate themselves unto your lotus feet. Sangam vidyusha bhyato antaratmanaha, and they simply give up. So first of all, those jnanis, he's talking about those intellectual people, when they they come in contact with your lotus feet, when they simply dedicate themselves unto your lotus feet, Sangam Vidyusha Bhyato Antaratmanaha. They simply give up the attachment. Vidyusha means all the attachments that they have of this material things, possessions, relative, friends, whatever. That attachment is destroyed. So the attachment of this world and the attachment to the next world, everything is destroyed. Because you are staying as Antaratmanaha in their heart. And Vindantihi Brahma Gatim. And then they move on to their next destination of getting Brahman. Because here he is talking about Vichakshanas, those who are intellectuals, those who are Jnanis. So what is their destination? Their destination is Brahman. They achieve this Brahman. But one important point is Yad Charano Pasadanat, means those who have dedicated onto your lotus feet, means they have respect for your lotus feet, means bhakti is added to it. When the tinge of bhakti is added, then they will achieve their destination. And Vindantihi Brahma Gatim, you give them that Brahma Gati, you give them the highest destination, Gataklamas, without any difficulty. Oh, Tasmai Subhadra Shavase Namo Nama, I bow down to you. So here, Sukadev Goswami is talking about those highly intellectual people. But Prabhupada, being a devotee, pure devotee of the Lord, he takes this verse to different level. He says, Vichakshana can refer to Jnanis, highly intellectual, but also the devotees also. Because devotees are also very intellectual. So when they approach the Supreme Lord, then they also get freed from all kinds of attachments. They become detached, because that is the byproduct of Bhakti Yoga. When you progress in this path of Bhakti Yoga, then Jnana Vairagya automatically comes. Right? So therefore, Vindantihi Brahma Gatim, even they will get that Brahma Gati. They will progressively move towards their destination of Brahmagati. But for them, Brahmagati is not just the Brahman, but for them, Brahmagati is the Vaikuntha planets or to Golok Vrindavan. And Gataklamas, and without any difficulty, they achieve their destination. Tasmai Subhadra Shavase Namo Namaha. Somebody can read the translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Let me offer my respectful obeisances again and again unto the all auspicious Lord Krishna, the highly intellectual, simply by surrounding unto his lotus feet. All are revealed of all attachment to present and future existence, and without difficulty progress towards spiritual existence.
Thank you, brother. So they are relieved of all the attachments of this world and to the next world. Prabhupada quotes these very beautiful verses from Bhagavad Gita from 464 to 66, where Krishna says that how I am revealing this knowledge, Sarva Guyatam Bhuya Shuname Param Vachan. So I'm revealing this knowledge. What knowledge? That confidential knowledge. Man mana mad bhakto madhyaji man namaskaru sardharman parityaja. Famous verses. Persons who are intelligent, they take serious note of this last instruction of the Lord. Knowledge of the self is the first step in spiritual realization, which is called confidential knowledge. Then a step further is God realization, and it is called a more confidential knowledge. But the culmination of this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and God realization is to attain the stage of God realization. He naturally and voluntarily becomes a devotee of the Lord. The devotional service of the Lord is always based on love of God, not from the routine process of karma yoga, jnana yoga, or dhyana yoga. So then he says, here Prabhupada says, as enunciated by Srila Jiva Goswami on the basis of Vedic assurance, Brahmagati means to attain the spiritual form as good as that of the Lord. And in that form, the liberated living being eternally lives on one of the spiritual planets situated in the sky. So for the Jnanis, it can be Brahma Jyoti, which is again a spiritual world. And for the devotees, it can be the Vaikuntha planet or Golok Vrindavan. And Brahma, Prabhupada quotes from this Brahma's prayer, Shreya Shritim Bhakti Mudasayote Vibho Klishanti Kevala Bodha Labhyate Tesham Asu Klesha Eva Shishyate Nanyad Yatha Sthula Tusha Avaghanitam. Means that Brahma is praying to the Supreme Lord that, oh Lord, your devotional service is the best path to attain self-realization. If someone gives up that path and unnecessarily engage into other speculative methods, then those paths will be unnecessary, difficult, and it will be a troublesome. Naturally, going on the top of the building, taking staircase or escalators is difficult, and taking elevator is much easier. So he's saying that those who are taking your devotional service, they are taking the easiest path and by which they can get their desired results. And the person who is taking the cumbersome process, the difficult process of speculative knowledge, then speculative knowledge means on their own whims, not even Shastric. It is not related to any Shastric way to approach the Lord. Because through Shastric way also, there can be many ways which are difficult, but at least they will reach the highest destination. But here Brahma is talking about those who are doing just the speculative knowledge. They unnecessarily undergo that troublesome process. And Prabhupada and Brahma, he gives the example of just like if somebody is beating an empty husk of wheat, will he get any grain? No, because he's unnecessarily beating that empty husk. So he cannot achieve that self-realization. There is no gain. What is there? It's only trouble. So don't get into all this. Accept this process of Bhakti Yoga. Leave all Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda and engage in the process of Bhakti Yoga. Only then one can, without any difficulty, attain the highest perfection. Time is up, but we will still read the 17th verse because this is in continuation. I said, right, in the 3 verses, Sukdev Goswami says, Tasmai Subhadra Shavase Namo Namo. So this is the last verse where he again quotes, Tapasvino dana para yashasvino manasvino mantra vidha sumangala shemam na vindanti vinatadarpanam tasmai subhadra shravase namo namah. We'll just discuss the verse. Maybe as a homework, you can read the purport on your own. Tapasvino referred to the great learned tapasvis, the sages. So here it is referred to Gyanis, because they are the great learned, they are the great tapasvis. Danapara means those who are very great in giving some charity. And this refers to the karmis, because karmis are very great in offering charities. They perform a lot of sacrifices, karmakanda activities by which they give charity. So tapasvino danapara, yashashvino means those who perform this ashwamedha yagya, horse sacrifice, ashwa. Those who are the great workers, those who perform different horse sacrifices. Manasvino, those who are the great philosophers, yogis. Mantravidaha, those who are the great chanters of the different mantras that are there in the Vedas. Sumangala means those who are very strict followers of the Vedic principles. Shemam na vindati vinatadarpanam. All these activities that they are doing, they will not achieve the desired result. Shemam na vindati. They will not achieve the perfection, because see, any activity that a tapasvi carries, that a karmakandi carries, the yogis they carry, they do all their activities. They have something in their mind. They want that gain out of whatever they are doing. If somebody is doing this charity, if a karmi is doing, naturally the karmi would expect some result. That, oh, I did this much of charity, now I want this. But a devotee, he does this anonymous charity because he is doing it for Krishna, for the pleasure of Lord Shri Krishna. But the karmis are not doing so. So those tapasvis, those danapara people, those yashashvino, those who are performing the horse sacrifices, those manasvino, those mantravedas, those who are chanting the different hymns of the Vedas, those who are strict followers of the Vedic principles, sumangala, shemam na vindanti, they will not achieve their desired results unless vinayad arpanam, if they don't offer the results of their activities to the Supreme Lord. If they are not dedicating all their services for the service of the Supreme Lord, they will not achieve their desired result. Tasmai subhadra shavase namo namaha. And I bow down to you, O Supreme Lord. So this verse, this phrase, Subhadra Shravase, Tasmai Subhadra Shravase Namo Namaha, it is chanted, it is repeated in the 3 verses. In each verse it is repeated. It is just to show the predominance of hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord. That one should try to engage oneself in chanting and hearing the glories of the Lord. Yes, Tulsi Gopi Mataji, read the translation. Maybe you or your daughter.
Hare Krishna. Translation. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the all-auspicious Lord Shri Krishna again and again, because the great learned sages, the great performers of charity, the great workers of distinction, the great philosophers and mystics, the great chanters of the Vedic hymns, and the great followers of the Vedic principles cannot achieve any fruitful result without dedication of such great qualities to serve such great qualities to the service of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Veda. So everything has to be done for the pleasure of the Lord and should be offered to the Lord. If it is not offered, then see those great people also, they cannot achieve the results. So therefore the devotee offer everything to the Lord. Even their karmas they offer to the Lord. That, oh Lord, here I am with whatever baggage of karma I am carrying, but here I am, please accept me as I am. And then, even if somebody is not on that pure platform, then also in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that you should have this habit. Yad karoshi, yad ashnashi, yad juhoshi dadasi, yad tapasyase kauntaya, tat kurusham madarpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you do as a sacrifice, just offer it to me. Tat kurusham madarpanam. You should offer it to me. Therefore, Krishna tells Arjuna also that offer this fight also to me. Mam anusmaran yuddhacha. By fighting, you remember me, and this way you will dedicate this entire fighting also to me. Why? Because everything has to be done for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. Samsiddhir haritoshanam. Atha pumbir duja shrestha varnashrama vibhagasha sunisthaya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. Everything has to be done for samsiddhir haritoshanam, for the pleasure, for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. Only then all the activities, whatever we do, will achieve some destination. We'll get the desired results of those activities, provided all the activities are used, are done, are offered to Krishna, not for our personal interest. One line here is very important. Prabhupada says, there are two kinds of self-interest, namely personal selfishness and extended selfishness. But actually it is selfishness only. There is no qualitative difference between the personal and the extended selfishness. Theft for the personal interest or for the family interest is of the same quality, namely criminal. A thief pleading not guilty because of committing theft not for personal interest but for the society in general or country has never been excused by the established law by any country. So therefore, whatever we are doing to maintain our body and soul together, if we are doing it for our personal thing, then it is our sense gratification. So, but unless there is God consciousness, even the body that we are maintaining, it's useless. We have to maintain that soul and body and soul together. But that even animals can do very perfectly. So then what is the difference? The difference is about the consciousness, that God consciousness should be there. So the aim is that all the endeavors must be for the pleasure of the Lord, not for the satisfaction of any identity individual, but it should be samsiddhir harito sharanam. So we will stop here. And the next verse, that is the 18th verse, it's a very important verse. Though it is in relationship to the same prayers that Srila Sukadeva Goswami is offering, but I'll leave it because it takes some time. And let Preeti Vilasni Mataji cover it on Thursday. Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you, all of you, for your very, very kind association. Let's see if we have any quick questions or comments. Otherwise, we'll end. Yes, Mani Mataji. Padmani Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I thought you're asking some. Mataji, thank you very much. Dandavat Pranams, because for us here today is Ekadashi. It was a very wonderful class, and going through all these things in the morning at 4 o'clock with the Ekadashi is extraordinary blessings. Thank you very much for such a nice class, Mataji. I just want to express that. There's no doubt at all. Beyond doubt, you made it everything so clear, and it was so wonderful to get through these Bangla churns. Thank you very much, Mataji. Dandavat Pranams.
Yes, Sunil Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji Janatnam. Thank you so much, Mataji, for so beautiful class. And I will also do Mangalachan before reading the Srimad Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita. I usually just go to the verse. Thank you so much. Mataji, just a question like, did you learn Sanskrit, Mataji, whole like you're able to see
never.
the verse and describe it so beautifully?
I don't know. I had Sanskrit only from 5th to 9th grade. That's all. But I'm not a Sanskrit scholar. I'm really no idea. But just by reading Srila Prabhupada's purports, Srila Prabhupada books, some basic Sanskrit, you'll get into it. If you keep reading Prabhupada's purport, Prabhupada books are such that can help you to understand everything, can give you the spiritual knowledge for sure, but also can give you material knowledge. Like your vocabulary gets increased. Prabhupada uses such difficult words that sometimes today also I have to open dictionary to see the meaning. your English vocabulary increases, your Sanskrit increases, your way of pronouncing the word, reciting those verses increases. So everything is there in Srila Prabhupada's books. So keep reading and you'll get hold of everything.
Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. And today's Ekadashi in India also. Haribol.
Thank you. And happy Ekadashi to everyone. And for those who are in US, happy Ekadashi, advance Ekadashi, happy Ekadashi, because for US it is tomorrow. Okay, dear devotees, we'll stop here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuva eva cha pattanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada
Jai.
jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaur Bhakta ki jai. Hare Krishna,
Sundari
Mataji
Mataji.
ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Jai, jai, jai.
Hare Krishna, Gaur Bhakta ki jai.